Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
We welcome you inside the Powassan Sportsplex for another edition of the Frontline Game Day broadcast, brought to you by Average Joe's as the Powassan Voodoos take on the Sudbury Greater Cubs. We want to welcome you whether you are watching on Flow Hockey or listening on the Frontline YouTube channel. I'm Ben Sargent, alongside with me, Ben Long, and there is going to be a pregame ceremony for the Voodoos. Alex Little for becoming the all-time Voodoos defenseman leader in points. But before we get to that, let's quickly set the tone here. Ben, coming into this game, so far out of the 5 meetings, Greater Sudbury has taken 4, and the Voodoos have only taken up 3 points out of the possible 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is a powerhouse Sudbury team. They have been for the last few years. And I think, it's always a challenge, but it's always a good game when Sudbury comes to town.
And the Voodoos coming off a win last night against the French River Rapids in what was pretty much of a blowout. It was 9-2, including a couple of goals by Caden Dubroy. Alex Little collecting 3 points. Jackson Smith in his first ever NOJHL game picking up a goal. What is going to be the key for the Voodoos coming into this hockey game, Ben?
Sorry, I missed your toe-hold question there. I'm not hearing very well right now.
Oh, it's all good. It got pretty loud in here. What's the key for the Voodoos tonight?
They got to keep that pressure on in the offensive zone. I think that's their biggest thing, is they got to make sure they stay on top of the Cubs. Otherwise, if they let the Cubs walk around with the puck, they know what to do with it.
And just before we get ready for this pregame ceremony, what do the Cubs need to do to come away with another victory?
I mean, they have to stick to their game plan, try and dominate the puck, try and dominate control, keep it in the Voodoos' end, and not give them any chances.
It's going to be what should be a very exciting game. Both teams have a lot to play for. We are going to go to the ringside, though, as there will be a pregame ceremony for Voodoos defenseman Alex Little.
Defenseman back in November. However, an injury has kept him out of the lineup until the new year, but today we are going to take time to recognize our captain. Little holds the record for franchise points as a defenseman. He holds the franchise record for single-season points by a defenseman, and he's also broken the all-time goal-scoring record for goals by a Voodoos defenseman. Right now, we welcome Jim Bruce, who has something to present to Alex Little. Congratulations, Alex, for tireless work on the ice, as you truly have become one of the greatest Voodoos of all time.
Just a little bit of announcement. For those of you who know Steve Boyle, AKA Game Day, I'll give you a little public health announcement. His bone cell transplant is going very well. He was I guess he was locked up there for a while with COVID. He's now out of isolation and back into his apartment. So we wish him well on his recovery.
We ask you to stand if able, remove your hats, and join Tim Scarrow for the singing of the American and Canadian national anthems.
That's positive.
so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep a land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard.
Well, a nice little ceremony there for Alex Little. Definitely deserves it. Picked up 3 points in that win against French River, including a goal from a beautiful feed by Alexander Case. Let's take a quick look at our goaltending matchup here. As in net for the Powassan Voodoos was Daniel DeRocklo, who was in net in between the pipes yesterday, made 28 saves on 30 shots, gave up 2 goals. DeRocklo continues to have a great season between the pipes for the Voodoos.
Yeah, he looked really good last season, and coming into this season, he's just been stellar the whole year. He's got great numbers, 2.88 goals against average and a .923 save percentage.
He's one of the leaders there in net for the Greater Sudbury Cubs, Noah Metivier. Metivier, yeah, we've been making sure we get that pronunciation right before we go. He has had a fantastic year. Both goaltenders for the Greater Sudbury Cubs have.
Yeah, Sudbury has, right now they have quite the problem in goaltender deciding who they're going to pick each night.
Well, it's the Greater Sudbury Cubs in their visiting blues as the puck drops. The Voodoos in their home whites as things get right underway. Tucker Shields, a shot right off the draw, and it's stopped there from Metivier. Still in the Sudbury zone. Both teams have a lot to play for here in this game. Both of them looking to go on top of the, or get close to the top of the standings right now. Sudbury tied with Blind River, who's also in action tonight for top of the West. On the other side, though, the Voodoos come in tonight 4 games behind as the puck was played by Metivier, but it goes off of the stick of Zach Turner and out of play. The Powassan Voodoos are 4 points behind Timmins. Timmins do not play tonight, so even though they'll have a game in hand, they can go within 2 points of the Rock after tonight.
Yeah, it's a high-flying league when you're playing the top teams.
Greater Sudbury has been one of the best teams in the last few years. Always some great hockey here as the rival of Highway 17. The puck's now in the Greater Sudbury zone. And the Cubs looking to try to get it out. But a nice steal there from Cameron Lemke, who got his 100th point, and now he gets tripped up. No call there. That was Innes getting a stick in the skate blades of Lemke. Now the puck goes all the way down into the Voodoo zone for an icing call. And as I mentioned, Cameron Lemke getting his 100th, 101st, and 102nd career NOJHL point last night.
Yeah, that's remarkable numbers we're putting up at any level, but at the junior A level for sure, that's impressive on his part. And if he has aspirations to be playing college hockey after this, I'm sure that helps that bid.
Absolutely, that is the road, and they're right off the face-off, and he goes in! Chase Thompson opens the scoring for the Voodoos. 1 minute and 5 seconds in, a misplay by Metivier, and Chase Thompson on the doorsteps makes it 1-0 Voodoos.
The hometown hero comes through again, puts Powassan on the board and out in the lead, and as a home team, that's the first thing you want to be doing, right? You want to get up, you want to get this crowd activated in the game, and this Powassan crowd is always eager to get into it.
Well, Thompson pushed the puck towards Metivier, who got a pad on it and was going to cover it up, fumbled it, and Thompson was right there on the doorstep to put it in. One that Sudbury's going to look to try to shake off early on, but a huge boost for the Voodoos right away. Now here's another chance, right off, shot goes high and wide. A good opportunity there from Matthew McMillan. The Voodoos come out of this game flying. They have had their issues early on in games trying to get going. We saw that against French River yesterday. Not today, though. It has been all Voodoos. They lead right now 3-0 the shots. Now a shot from Smith. He scores! And just like that, back-to-back within 30 seconds of each other, and the Voodoos have a 2-0 lead. Rafe Smith gets it going for Powassan.
This line has been dynamite from the start of the season, and here we see on their first shift today, they put in 2 goals quickly against one of the strongest teams in the league. Rafe Smith has a promising hockey career ahead of him. I think we're going to see him in the battalion version of the green jerseys next year, I imagine.
He has looked good when he has played with North Bay in the preseason. And he's had some opportunities with the battalion, but as you said, he's almost too good for this league, and you can see it here. That's his 16th of the year as well. Chase Thompson's goal, by the way, also his 16th of the year. Now Greater Sudbury trying to get back into it, so not even 2 minutes in. 4 shots on Metivier, and already a 2-0 game, but don't hold it. Here's a shot that goes just wide, right off the stick there of the Sudbury defender. Now an opportunity over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh at the point. He's looking to get one back. That's a little tip shot. It went off the stick of Little, but Duracolo kicks it away. Now Little with the trying to get it up the ice. It just goes off him into the Sudbury zone. Kavanaugh plays it over to his partner, and back comes Sudbury the other way. Puck back in the Voodoos zone. Voodoos trying to break out. Here's a chance for Dubroy. Dubroy, a pair of goals. His shot goes up over the trapper and off the glass and out of play.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MikeBFA.
As you said, the players to watch today for the Voodoos. Who do we got, Ben?
For the Voodoos, we're watching Rafe Smith, who's already shown us right with already a goal in the net. For the Cubs, we have Oliver Smith, who usually has a strong game. We haven't noticed too much of him yet tonight, though.
Yeah, 64 points in 36 games played, including 29 goals. So he's looking for his 30th. He's looking to get something going for the Cubs here. They find themselves down 2-0. The faceoff's in the Cubs zone. Back the Cubs go the other way, though. There's an opportunity to put the puck in front as Bouchard was trying to make a break for it. And now they're fighting for it behind the net. Rousseau getting it out to... Now picked up by the Voodoos. They're trying to get it out of their own zone, and it will be Dubroy who tries to get it up for Rousseau. Rousseau was wearing number 15, back to his regular number 8 here for those who are watching at home. And now the puck's dumped back into the Voodoos zone. It's Braden Viz trying to break things out for the Voodoos again. High flying so far. That was stolen in the neutral zone by Walker, who sends it down. Duracolo will just cover it up. 16:32 to go in the first period. It has been a very fast first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 shots in the first under 3 minutes, under 3 minutes here, and 2 shots against the Voodoos. This is a game that Powassan wants to keep playing this way. Make sure that Sudbury aren't getting any good chances. They're keeping the puck down the other end for the most part.
Face off to the left of Duracolo. As now there's a shot opportunity from Sudbury, but it goes wide off the state of the Shanks. And then Kavanaugh's shot was going wide, but Duracolo will glove it down for a whistle. 16:20 to go.
That's an important thing for goalies at this level, is that holding the puck, having control of it so there's not a lot of scramble going on in front of them. And Sudbury is great at causing chaos in the other team's end. So I'm sure we'll see that for Duracolo, covering it up as much as possible.
Face off again to the left. It's won by the Cubs, and a shot from Chitteroni goes wide. Now Chitteroni has back at the blue line. He's back, and there's Jackson Smith. We talked about him before. In his second game for the Voodoos. Couldn't clear it out, but he gets it again behind his own net. He's got Alex Little with him as well, but decides to go over to McMillan. McMillan's got Smith up on the rush, along with Thompson. Now Thompson has it in the corner in the Sudbury zone, but he can't get it out, and it's brought up to Ryan Rubik. Rubik now, he's got his Shanks with him. Rubik, his shot is stopped by Duraklou, steers it into the corner. Thompson trying to break out McMillan. McMillan, he's got Smith with him. McMillan trying to dance around his man. McMillan's still with it. He goes all the way around, tries to wrap it around to Smith. It's able to get past Hauser, who is not able to stop. Now they're fighting in the corner, and that's Thompson and Smith. Now Smith with a little backhander, but it goes high and wide over the bar, over the glove side of Metvier. Now there's a shot from the point from Carson Ricci. Now stolen by Patrick. Patrick's shot stopped by Metvier. Ricci, another shot tipped by Patrick, and good chances here from the Voodoos. Ricci keeps it in. A bad clearing attempt there from Sudbury. Now a shot stop. Puck's right there for Patrick, but he can't get a good play. A good play by Hauser to keep him from getting the strong shot on Metvier, who's going to hold on for the whistle.
Metvier was looking a little shaky early in the game when he let in those 2 goals. Both of them were ones that I'm sure he wished he could have had back, but he looked great for that shift out. There were some stellar chances against him, and he just denied them all.
Absolutely. Of course, Sudbury is missing North Bay native Marshall McCharles, who's got 23 points in 22 games. Still nursing an injury now. Right off the draw. Here's an opportunity. Shots stopped by Metvier. Great opportunity there off the stick of Reese Smetham. Of course, Reese was playing with his brother earlier, Owen Smetham, this year, but Owen was traded from the team. So now it's just back to the one Smetham. Though now we have 2 Smiths to worry about, though they are not related. Little has it in the neutral zone. He dumps it into the Sudbury zone. Sudbury, again, looking to get something going as they find themselves down 2-0 early on, just playing 5.5 minutes in this hockey game. The Sinaway can't quite clear it enough, and right there was Dylan McElhaney, who returns to the lineup. He was acquired by the Voodoos back in November, only played 3 games before an injury sidelined him for all of December, and he finally came back. Was not in the lineup yesterday, but gets in there tonight. Here's Dawson, Caleb Dawson. He's got Dubroy with him. Dawson, his shot, but it could block there. A good defensive play by Josh Kavanaugh. Dawson and alongside Dubroy, he set up both of Dubroy's goals as Metvier has lost his stick. He's looking to try to get it. It's behind the net right now. Both teams fighting for it in the near corner. It comes loose as there's Justin Russo fighting for it. This fourth line has done a great job so far for the Voodoos. Here's a chance for Dawson over to Russo. His shot right into the body of Metvier, who's going to hold on. And another offensive zone draw with 6.5 gone in the first period.
Metevier's got lucky on that one, that the shot was right into his body where his gloves are able to compensate. It really opens up your 5-hole a lot to not have that stick there.
Absolutely. As you said, he had a bit of a shaky start, especially when you look at the Chase Thompson goal that kind of started things off, but he's faced 12 shots already. There's McMillan, a shot, but Thompson looking for a second of the game. Now it's stuck in his feet. There's a couple of Greater Sudbury players right on it, and it's Smith who knocks it free onto the stick of Hauser. Hauser trying to get it out. They can't reach. He keeps it in. This line has really caused a lot of havoc for Sudbury as there's Justin Sagan. Sagan gets it out. There to Bouchard. Signoretti trying to get it in, but he can't go. There's a good defensive play by Thompson on Sagan, so he didn't get a stick on that. And the puck comes back to the Voodoo zone. Carson Ricci picks it up. He's got Lacroix right there, and now Lacroix gets his stick taken out of his hands by Smith. That's Rafe Smith. Gonna have to make sure we let viewers know which Smith it is now.
And Sudbury has a Smith as well.
Oh, perfect. That's a lot of Smiths. Not that it's not a common last name or anything in the western part of the world, as the puck attempts to gets cleared out of the Voodoo zone. Now puck's in neutral zone. Both teams trying to get something going here in the neutral zone. It's picked up by Sudbury, who dump it back down in the Voodoo zone, but on the wrong side of the red line, and it'll go down for icing.
Speaking of common last names, at one point a couple years ago, there was 3 hockey players playing junior level hockey in Northern Ontario with the last name Christopoulos.
Yes.
That may be a common Greek last name, but it's not so common here.
Speaking of Christopoulos, not the OHL brothers, but the one that's not related to them, did play last night for the French River Rapids.
He did indeed.
So we were talking about that. Alex Little dumps it in and it goes right into the glove of Metivier, who's going to throw it away to his defenseman Innes. The puck comes out, and here's an opportunity now for Shanks. Cameron Shanks' shot. It's blocked off the stick of Little. It goes wide. Fighting for it in the near corner. A pair of Sudbury players, a pair of Powassan players. Shanks comes away with it. He's being harassed there by Smetham and Little. He's also got Lacroix with him as well. Now the puck comes loose, but it's picked up by Smetham, who's going to try to get it out. Or check that was Alex Little. And now the clearing attempt not able. Now Alex Little has it. He's got Smetham with him, but his pass into the slot is blocked. Good defensive play there by Sudbury to keep a great high-scoring chance from happening. But the Voodoos have it right at the corner side of the net, and there's an opportunity from McElhaney, but he can't get a good shot off. There's Lemke. Lemke, his shot from a bad angle, easily stopped by Metivier. Couldn't get it past Braden Viz at the blue line, so he keeps it in. And now both teams fighting for it behind the net. Comes out to Jaden Sturge. Sturge gets around. He gets around a check. And there's Dubroy. Dubroy looking for somebody in front, but nobody was there. Greater Sudbury comes out the other way. And now they come up on the rush. Here's an opportunity. A shot that's blocked. That was Sinaway. Getting an opportunity for the Cubs. Puck now back in the Sudbury zone. Kavanaugh could not control that pass from his partner Chitterone. Now Chitterone brings it up. He passes it over to Walker. They brings it in. His shot goes off the leg of Ricci and wide. Now the puck behind the zone for Viz. Viz looking for somebody to get it to. He passes it out over to Russo, and that one almost goes out of play, but just off the top of the glass. Now Carson Ricci sends it down in, and the Voodoos will go off for a change. Chitterone. Over to Kavanaugh, tries to get it over to Harris. It was a little bit out of his zone. Ricci's able to block it. Puck back in the neutral zone. Greater Sudbury having some issues getting into the Powassan zone cleanly. And now the Cubs will try it again. Here's an opportunity. Shot stopped there by DeRoccolo. Martin with a good shot. He also had Harris with him as well. Voodoos break up the other way. Here's Case. Casey's got Smith with him. Case takes a shot. It goes wide. And then that puck goes off the boards and off the very low ceiling here at the Sportsplex. As we get to our mid-period break, you are watching the Frontline Game Day broadcast brought to you by Average Joe's on Flow Hockey and listening on the Frontline YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, we're back here in the Sportsplex. It is 2-0 between the Voodoos and the Greater Sudbury Cubs. 15 for the shots been so far through about the first half of the first period. Sudbury's not looking too hot.
No, it's not that they're even looking particularly bad, but Powassan's playing really well. They're doing all the things that they need to do, like we talked about before the game, and you can tell, like, the shot clock really tells the story of how well Powassan's playing.
Yeah, and you kind of have to feel a little bad for Metivier. Both those goals, well, at least the Thompson one, you would have liked to have back, but he's made some good saves so far, and I don't think the scoreboard necessarily reflects his play either.
Well, no, the first 5 shots of the game, the 5th shot was the second goal.
Correct.
The next 10 shots, he's been lights out. He's been playing really solid. So I think we're going to see, this could possibly be 2 goals tonight for Powassan if Metivier keeps playing the way he has the last 10 shots.
9:43 to go in the first period. As they line back up to take the draw to the right of Metivier. It'll be Tucker Shields taking the draw for the Voodoos. And now there's some confusion. They're waiting to drop the puck here.
I'm not exactly sure what's happening. They're just holding, and the ref is yelling.
And now the play resumes. Not too sure what that was about. And now the puck comes out in front, and a great opportunity there for Ryan Patrick, but he couldn't get a handle on it, and now Little's able to just keep it in, as Shanks was right on him as they try to press the blue line a little bit. Now there was a great chance there, and a good play by Zach Turner as he lost it up near the top of the circles, but he regains possession. And now Sudbury is able to get it out. Shanks can't corral that lead pass as Little plays it back into the neutral zone. And now both teams trying to gain possession. Zach Turner flips it up. And Smith has it. Smith makes a nice little play on as the puck was in the air to stop Cameron Lemke from breaking into the Sudbury zone. Alex Little now into the corner along with Kavanaugh. That puck comes out, and almost a great opportunity there from Asinue, but he couldn't handle it. And now it's going to break the other way for Patrick. Patrick tries to dance around his man, but a good defensive play there to stop him from getting a good chance on goal. Sudbury back through the neutral zone. Asinue couldn't hold that pass. A good defensive play by Ricci to stop that. Now Ricci's pass over to McElhaney was too hot to handle. Now there's a delayed penalty coming up to, I believe it's Sudbury. And the first power play of the game is going to come. It's going to be a slash against Oliver Smith, the captain, and the Voodoos are going to get their first opportunity on the power play.
You sure have been saying Smith a lot tonight, Ben.
Yeah, I have. There's a lot of Smiths.
I mean, when you look at the fact that the leading scorer for Sudbury is Smith, just got a penalty. New player for Powassan is a Smith, and one of the leading scorers for Powassan.
And goal scorer of this game.
Yep.
Wraith Smith. Lots of Smiths. So the Voodoos will have an opportunity here. There's Case right off the draw. And it's stopped by Mativier, but he couldn't hold on to it through his glove. One of the things to note about last night, at least, we were seeing Alex Little, along with Alexander Case, a lot of their forwards actually playing deep in the zone on the power play, and the forwards playing at the point. So we'll see if that's something that they continue doing here in this power play. Here's Shields. So Little and Case in the back end. Shields, McMillan, and Lemke at the top. Kavanaugh tries to get it out. Little stops it at the blue line. Now Little, his shot on net goes through traffic, and it went into a body, and Kavanaugh is able to just clear it and kill off some more time. Back behind his own net. Dracula leaves it there for Lemke as the Voodoos change, or looking to change. And now here's Case. Case gets pushed down. A strong play there by Kavanaugh, and he sends it all the way back down. And it'll be Dracula who plays it off for Lemke, but he does have Ben LaCroix right there looking to cause some havoc. Chitteroni now also pressing in high. It's left there for Smith. Smith leaves it behind his own net for Thompson. Now under a minute to go in the power play. Ricci, the second unit now on for the Voodoos. Thompson over to Smith. Smith gains the zone. Smith goes around his man. Thompson, he had Smetham wide open, but the pass was not way too high. That would have been a really nice passing play between the three Voodoo forwards. Cleared out by Greater Sudbury. Shanks does a good job to get it down. And outside of that opening part of that period, as there was almost a giveaway to Walker in the Voodoo zone, the Voodoos have not been able to get anything going on in this power play. Here's Ricci. He just dumps it in. He'll go after his own dump in. Puck still in the zone. It's loose there for Smetham. Smetham, he's got Smith in front. The penalty's now over to Oliver Smith, so he comes out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Smith gets the puck straight from the penalty box, and his lead pass wasn't good, but here's Harris. Harris, he's got LaCroix with him. Harris's shot is high and wide. Now it comes all the way to the blue line. Innes couldn't keep it in, so it goes back to the neutral zone, and it's just dumped in by the Cubs. Again, Greater Sudbury finds themselves down 2-0. 14 minutes gone in the opening frame. Here's Dubois. Dubois is not able to dance around his man. A good defensive play by Kivion. And it goes all the way down. No icing as it's waved off by the linesman. Here's Little. Little brings it in. He gets it stolen by Smith. Now Smith, he sends it over. Here's a shot. It's stopped by Duracolo. A good blocker save. Now the puck's loose in front. Good opportunity for the Cubs. Probably one of their best of this game as it came off the stick of Asinue. Now down in the corner, Asinue has it, but he couldn't hang on to it as it goes up against the near boards. Asinue tries to get it over to Innes, but it goes out of the zone, so they'll have to touch up for offside. And the pass to Russo goes off his stick, and now Asinue, it gets there. He's able to get his pass over to Chitteroni. Chitteroni in behind the net. Comes around. He's got Kavanaugh at the point. He decides to go into the slot for Smith. His shot goes wide. A great opportunity there for Oliver Smith to get the Cubs within one. And now the lead pass to try to break out Patrick. He gets a stick on it, so no icing, and now the Voodoos go for a much-needed change. Voodoos looking to press high in the zone, and the Cubs bring it out. There's Signoretti. Sends it around for Patrick, has it at the Voodoos zone. He's looking to break out somebody. He gets it to Shields. Shields not able to get around both Walker and Chitteroni, but he's able to get there, the puck in the zone. And now Sturge not able to hold it in. Jaden Sturge over to Dylan McElhaney. McElhaney dances around a couple of guys, tries to get it up to Zach Turner, but it's out of his reach. It goes for icing with 4:13 left in the opening period.
That was quite a long stint of play that you had there. How's your voice holding up, Ben?
It's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's...
Not a lot of whistles in this game, it seems.
No, but it's been a great game so far. Highly entertaining action. If you're taking the game from somewhere local, maybe the weather tonight's not ideal for getting here, but on a better day, I would say come down and watch some hockey. It's a great time.
Absolutely, and there's a shot right off the draw by Sudbury, but it's steered aside by DeRoccolo. 17-6 the shot, so that just tells one piece of the story in this opening frame. You know the Voodoos love the fact that they have an early 2-0 lead. It's a bit of a hill to climb for Sudbury. Sudbury is a team that can score a lot, so this game is nowhere close to being over. Puck in Sudbury's zone. They're looking to get something. LaCroix gets his pocket picked by Lemke. Now Lemke makes another play on Seguin, but he's not able to pick up the puck and gain the zone. And now again in the neutral zone. Cubs come back the other way. There's Shanks. Shanks gets bodied off the puck by Case. And Ricci has it down in the corner. Ricci, he has Shanks right on him, but he's able to keep the puck, and Ricci brings it up for the Voodoos. Case up to McElhaney. McElhaney able to get around his man, but a nice stick by Kivion stops that attempt by Ricci. There's Shanks. Shanks, his shot goes wide. Puck down in the zone now. Both teams fighting for it. Number of players behind the net. It comes loose there for McMillan, but he's not able to hold it. And now McMillan has it again. Shanks right there along with Innes. But McMillan breaks free, and McMillan brings it up through his own zone with a burst of speed through the neutral zone. He tries to get around his man. McMillan still has it. There's a penalty coming up. A hooking call as the stick of Kivion went right into the body of McMillan. And he's going to go off for 2 minutes or less, and now the Voodoos are going to have their second chance on the power play. We saw it the first time. Outside of the first possession they had, really didn't get anything going on the power play.
No, they looked a bit rough on that power play, and so I'm sure they're hoping to take better advantage of this one and widen this point gap, because as you mentioned during play there, Sudbury's a team that can score a lot of goals, being led by Oliver Smith with 64 points in 36 games, but they also have some other large point totals with Hudson Chitteroni, Samuel Sinaway, and Cameron Shanks on the roster today.
Well, it's won by Sudbury, and they almost get a chance short-handed, but Chitteroni's weak shot is just put into the corner, but Sudbury does have possession here on the penalty kill. Now there's an opportunity. It's stolen. Smetham, his shot's good save by Metivier. Now tries to get it in front as a bad defensive play, a bit of a lazy play there from Sudbury. Almost gets caught, but it's cleared out of the zone, and it'll be DeRoccolo who will play it. Chitteroni was right there for Sudbury with the high press, but Ricci's going to have it behind his own net. This could be a chance for the Voodoos, though, to go into the break up 3-0. As if when this penalty expires, there'll only be 2 minutes left. It looks Wraith Smith got his stick taken out of his hands. He was looking for a penalty with his arms up, looking at the official, but no call coming. Lemke has it behind his own net as, again, Sudbury is not letting the Voodoos set up in the zone at all. Lemke looking to get something going. Lemke has it from a pass from Little. Lemke now just sends it all the way around, and it's McMillan who has it on the far boards. McMillan, his pass in front looking for Tucker Shields. Right in the high slot, but it goes through the slot and out the other side. Back to the point for Lemke. Lemke over to McMillan. He wraps it around the boards looking for Shields. It's out of his reach, so Little picks it up. Little sends it back into the corner for Shields. Shields gets knocked over. Now McMillan has it behind the net. He's looking in front for Little. Little sends it back to Lemke. Minute 10 to go in the period. 40 seconds to go in the power play. There's a shot from the point from Case, and Metivier sees it all the way through and into the glove for a whistle with $1:06 left to go in the opening period.
Yeah, Metivier was sure to make get his glove on that one and hold it, because Alex Little was standing right behind him where the puck was going. That if it would have got past him, Little for sure would have been able to stop and get it to the net.
Shields wins the faceoff, but Shanks is right there to pick up the loose puck, and he brings it up into the Voodoos zone, but his shot attempt is blocked, and now the Voodoos, Alex Little, has possession behind his net. He just leaves it for Lemke. Lemke with a burst of speed through the neutral zone. He's looking to get around. He just shoots it in. The penalty is now expired, and with 42 seconds left in the period, it bounces to Mativier, and he holds on for the whistle.
The Powassan power play has not looked great tonight. They've given up probably more chances than they've actually gotten themselves.
And they only have a handful of shots.
Yeah.
They didn't even really register a good shot on net in that entire power play.
No, there was the one that was the cases almost looked like a shot pass to Little that Mativier got his glove on.
They've had some issues gaining the zone and setting up their unit. Sudbury's doing a good job blocking the passing lanes, but now with a burst of speed looking for something last. Here's a Sinway, his shot stopped by DeRoccolo from kind of a sharp angle. 30 seconds to go, and the Voodoos would love to go into the breakup 2-0, maybe even 3-0, and now there's some collisions. There's going to be a penalty up to Ryan Patrick, who got all in front of Kevion, who was the guy who was just in the penalty box for the Sudbury. He almost got suplexed there as they got tied up. Now the puck goes out of play, so Patrick's going to go off. We'll see what they call it. Maybe most likely interference, I would imagine.
I'm not really sure with that penalty, because it looked like the Sudbury guy threw his body into
they kind of got tangled around.
And it looked like he was almost trying to avoid him. And by trying to avoid him, kind of grabbed him and took him down. And
it definitely looked, I think if you didn't see the context of the whole play, I think it looked a lot worse than it might have been. As you said, it looks more like they just got tangled up. There might have been an extra grab in there. A little too hard to see from our angle, but that means Sudbury, with 10 seconds to go in the period, assuming they don't score, will start the second period. And now the Voodoo bench is not happy as everybody's getting their ass. Shields looks like he was going to get, saying he's not taking the face-off properly. He doesn't get kicked out. But the Voodoos bench is not happy. Shields ends up winning the face-off, though, and then it's cleared out by Powassan. That's going to do it for the opening draw. That's the second time we've seen some face-off issues as the period comes to an end. And now Peter Goulet is giving it to the linesman. And Peter is a pretty quiet guy, but he can get pretty animated on the bench when he wants to be.
Yeah.
And now there's some pushing and shoving after the whistles. Not much, pretty much what you would expect between a Sudbury North Bay game.
Powassan, but yes.
Or Powassan, sorry, yeah. North Bay area, I should say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Greater Sudbury against North Bay area.
North Bay, yeah. The Greater Sudbury area versus the North Bay area.
But there was some awful unhappiness on the bench there, and I wouldn't be entirely surprised.
And the Sudbury bench
if
also
the refs go to both benches before next period and just say, hey, guys, we got to calm this down, because it looked like there was some shoving coming from one of the Sudbury guys at the bench.
Well, it's the Sudbury bench, their coaching staff's still on the ice. Same with Peter Goulet and his coaching staff. Of course, that would be Dave Clancy, the general manager, and assistant coach Kerry McClellan also on the bench there. And so we'll have to see. I don't think there will be any penalty trouble, but we'll have to see how that goes as the game continues. We are going to go to a break, though. When we come back, we'll get ready for the second period of play. There will still be a minute 49 left on the Greater Sudbury. Penalty to Ryan Patrick, or power play, I should say. 18-8 the shots for the Voodoos after one period, and the Voodoos lead 2-0. You are watching the Frontline Game Day broadcast, brought to you by Average Joe's on Flow Hockey, and listening on the Frontline YouTube channel.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Barry! Huh? I told you not to be scaring the customers.
Hey, Barry, come on in for a bite. And bring Brianna with you.
For only 2 minutes up the hill, where you're only a stranger once.
Ready to embark on an electrifying adventure? Look no further than the Mitsubishi Outlander, available in gas or PHEV, the SUV that redefines excellence. Recently awarded the best midsize utility vehicle in Canada for 2023 by AJAC. This bold and sophisticated SUV delivers advanced performance, safety, and tech, plus peace of mind with its standard super all-wheel control and the best warranty in the business. With red-hot deals and plenty in stock, your award-winning drive starts with the Mitsubishi Outlander.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
We welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as it's the Powassan Voodoos and Greater Sudbury Cubs. Powassan with a really good first period that saw them outshoot Greater Sudbury 18-8 and put 2 goals past Noah Metier. As it was the scoring summary really quickly, Chase Thompson starting things off 1 minute and 5 seconds into the game with his 16th of the year, and then Rafe Smith 20 seconds later, the minute 33 mark, with his 16th of the year as well. I'm Ben Sargent alongside with me, Ben Long. And Ben, what did we see in that first period? What needs to happen in the second period for both teams?
So that was probably the best period of hockey we've seen Powassan play all year. Multiple people have said that. That's not my own original thought, I don't think, but I definitely agree with it. Powassan needs to keep up that play. They're coming in here with the 2-minute penalty kill right off the top to have to go 149 to be specific. So hopefully they can keep that up. If they can kill that penalty and keep up the energy they had in the first period, they'll be looking good. Sudbury needs to counter that energy. They need to be the ones putting the pressure on, and towards the end of the period we did start to see Sudbury coming on a bit more, and so what they need to do is Sudbury really needs to make advantage of this power play. Even if it's not necessarily score a goal, they need to keep control in Powassan's end and try and get some good chances and build some momentum.
As you mentioned, Ryan Patrick in the box for another minute 49 after a holding penalty with 11 seconds to go in the period. We are just about ready to get back underway with the Greater Sudbury having a 1-man advantage for $1.49 as it's Shields versus Asinway. Asinway wins the face-off. And we are back underway here in the second period. Smith has it in his own zone for Sudbury. I mentioned that 3 Smiths playing in this game. Oliver Smith, the captain of Greater Sudbury. Wraith Smith, one of the goal scorers for the Voodoos. And Jackson Smith, newly acquired. And here's a opportunity right off the bat. Asinway all the way back. He scores! Kavanaugh! What a beautiful give-and-go play with Samuel Asinway. And it's 2-1 right like that. A power play goal for Greater Sudbury.
That first 10 seconds of this period was a great forecheck on a penalty kill by Powassan, and then it just fell apart in a hurry. And that last 8 seconds was, I think, exactly what Sudbury drew up in the room of what they want to happen. Get the puck down the ice, into their end, make some good passes, and put a shot into an empty net.
Well, a perfect start for Sudbury as it was a great give and go between Kavanaugh, who gets into the zone, sends it to Asinway, who then gives a great return feed. No chance for Daniel DeRoccolo to make a save on that. And just like that, we have a hockey game. It's 2-1 now. It's 30 seconds gone in the second period. And Sudbury on the attack again. Here's Kavanaugh again. He shoots. He scores. Beg my pardon, that is Mason Chitteroni. And all of a sudden, we are tied up 41 seconds into the second period.
So that's Hudson Chitteroni, not Mason Chitteroni that scored that one. There's a couple of those in this game as well.
It's because one is 83, one is 93.
Yep.
What is up with these numbers?
Right? But yeah, that was exactly what they wanted to be doing. Yeah. This is the Sudbury that we're used to seeing, and as you mentioned, they're a dangerous team that can score a lot of goals in a hurry. So Powassan needs to get back to the form that they were playing in the first period.
As you said, things just happened just like that. And now the play is resumed, so Powassan comes in with a 2-0 lead and not even a minute into the second period. And the play is in the Sudbury zone, now comes out, and with a burst of speed, a chance here for Martin. As Hudson Martin, he gets knocked off the puck there, but a penalty is going to come up to the Voodoos, as that is going to be Jackson Smith going to the box. And things are unraveling very quickly if you are the Powassan Voodoos. They've given up 2 goals in the span of under a minute, and now they're back on the penalty kill.
It is not looking great for them at this point. After such a good first period, it's a shame to see the second period start off this way, back in the box again. Let's see what they can do to turn this around.
Well, right off the draw, it's the Voodoos who win it, and they clear. So a good start if you're Powassan. If you're Greater Sudbury, though, but that's literally exactly what they chalked up in the dressing room, as there was a big hit between Smith and Case in the neutral zone. And there's now an opportunity on the rush for Sudbury, but it's blocked and it goes out into the neutral zone. And coming up here is a Sinue. Sinue, a good play by Case right at the blue line. He dumps it down, and the Voodoos kill off the first 40 seconds of this period, or this penalty, sorry. Having it behind his own net is Chris Innes. Innes up to Smith. Oliver Smith brings it along the line. And now over, great chance from Harris. Still in front for Sinue. Sinue trying to get a shot off. The puck is loose right now in the slot area. Comes out to Innes. Innes passes it over to his defensive partner there, Smith. Now back to the blue line again. There's just under a minute to go on the power play. Chitteroni's shot is off the blocker of Duracolo. And now they're fighting for it in the near side. The puck comes out of the zone. And Innes picks it up in the neutral zone. Back comes Sudbury, looking for another shot. Mason just gets it, Harris just gets it in. And now Harris is getting tangled up with Jaden Sturge. Nothing happening as the ref's right there talking to both players. And Harris goes off for a change. Sudbury comes up the other way again. 20 seconds to go. The puck just comes loose to Duracolo, who's going to hang on for a face-off to his left. 2 minutes and 47 seconds gone in this in the second period.
An interesting thing that we were seeing right off the start of both the penalty kills that Powassan had there. Alex Little, a defenseman, was the man providing high pressure in the offensive zone. He would be right down on them checking and then use his speed to make his way back to the end, but it's odd to see a defenseman up.
And there was Kavanaugh's shot right off the draw, and it goes wide, and now goes Chitteroni. And how about Hudson Chitteroni? 2 goals so far in this period to get Greater Sudbury back on top. There's Mason Chitteroni. A shot goes off the shoulder of Duracolo. Power play is now over, back to 5-on-5. As the puck comes out, but Kavanaugh stops it. Kavanaugh able just to get it into the Voodoo zone, but Lemke picks it up. Lemke gets it up. Now Kavanaugh steals it to the blue line. He gets it over to Walker. Walker shoots, he scores! Cameron Walker, and Sudbury now finds themselves leading 3-2 in the first span of 3.5 minutes in the second period.
That was a great shot, one of those ones right over the pad, right under the trapper. And that's where goal scorers shoot the puck, right? And for a reason, but as a goalie, you got to be getting your glove down to meet it there.
As you said, it was a perfect shot, and now all of a sudden, one that I think Duracolo saw cleanly probably maybe would have liked to have back, as he's now given up 3 goals and 12 shots and 3 goals in the span of just over 3.5 minutes. 16:15 to go in the second period. And we were talking about this off air between the periods and of how this game can just change like that. And we know it coming in to this game, but Greater Sudbury showing why they are tied with Blind River right now atop the West. Blind River also in action today. They are leading the Sioux Michigan Eagles 2-0. Play gets back underway. That's Walker's 15th of the season as Little has behind his own net. Little trying to get at Patrick. And one of the things you'll notice here is almost a breakaway chance for Turner. And now Turner trying to find somebody in front, but nobody was there. Now a chance for Patrick, but he fans on the shot. Patrick's now with it again. He's going to get tripped up. A penalty coming to Sudbury. So the Voodoos, who have had 2 pretty weak power plays, are going to get a chance, their 3rd one of the evening, to try to tie things back up. As it looks like it'll be Shanks going off for the tripping call.
And I'm sure the message on the bench right now is we have to take advantage of this power play. We, as you alluded to, we were talking to between the periods about how quick it can change, and you said you were sure that there's going to be something said in Sudbury's dressing room and they were going to come out looking like a different team. And, inevitably that's true. I didn't think you would be quite so correct about it, though.
It's definitely felt like an entirely different game so far in the first quarter of this period. Mativier hasn't even seen a shot on net yet, but speaking of that, Turner almost gets there, gets a chance, but it's blocked. Thompson with it. Thompson into the slot area, but Ricci, who came in from the point, wasn't able to get a good, clean shot on. Ricci down for Thompson. Thompson shoots, stopped by Mativier. Puck behind the net. Turner up to Smith. Smith, his shot/pass goes wide. Smith him over to Thompson. Now back to the point for Ricci. Ricci takes a shot. It's stopped by Mativier into the glove, and he'll hold on. That's a much better start to the power play for the Voodoos.
Yeah, that was great control that the Voodoos showed on the power play there, and as they're changing up to bring out what I guess would classically be considered the first power play lineup, hopefully they can keep that control up and get some more good chances. That last shot was a decent shot, but there wasn't a lot of action in front of the net to distract Mativier, and he's going to make those point saves all the time.
Shields wins the face-off. It goes back to Little. Little over to Case. Case looking for a shot. This goes wide, and Little picks it up at the blue line. Little wraps it around the boards looking for McMillan. McMillan goes around looking for Shields. They were not quite on the exact same wavelength, though, and it's picked up there by Chitteroni. That would be Mason Chitteroni. And now the puck comes loose in the slot. Chance from Shields, but it's an easy save for Mativier. Still with it, Little behind the net. He sends it to the point for Lemke. Under a minute to go in the power play. Lemke loses it, gains it back into the slot area. And a tip shot there by Shields goes wide. Shields in the near side, back to the point for Lemke. Lemke goes around Chitteroni. Lemke over to Shields. Shields with it on the side of the net. Shields trying to do something with it, but it goes into the body of Kavanaugh. And then it'll be Mativier who jumps on it, and now there's some extracurricular pushing after the whistle.
Or pulling.
Pushing, pulling.
It looked like Chitteroni there grabbed Shields right from behind and just kind of pulled him a few feet back.
Well, it looked like Kavanaugh almost jumped on that puck and covered it a little bit, and I don't think the Voodoos were too happy.
I think he did, and I was looking to see where sort of the blue paint was, because if it's in the blue paint, that's a penalty. If it's outside the blue paint, it's a whistle.
I thought it was a penalty shot. I could be wrong about that, and I think it changes from league to league. But I thought if you covered it, it was a penalty shot, but we'll have to get confirmation on that a little bit later. Either way, it doesn't matter as nothing happens from it. Now behind the net, chance for Shields in front, but he wasn't able to get a clean shot off. Penalty starting to wind down here, and finally Sudbury gets it out, and that should pretty much do it for the power play as Little picks it up in his own zone. So a much better Powassan Voodoos power play, but as Little almost makes a mistake, and Smith gets it now. Case makes a mistake, and Sudbury almost took advantage, but they weren't able to corral it. It's back in the Sudbury zone now. Caden Dubroy making life difficult for the defenseman. Now a bad giveaway for Lemke. He's able to keep it on side, and he takes a weak shot. I don't think he realized he was on side. As Asinue now, he shoots, he scores! Samuel Asinue with a rocket over the glove side of Dorocolo, and it's 4-2 Greater Sudbury.
That was a rough one, especially coming after having, a solid power play with good puck control, couple really good chances to have the puck go down the other way and end up in the back of the net. We're seeing a goaltending change now. Dorocolo had such a great first period that he handled everything really well.
There'll be Miles Gordon coming in for the Voodoos.
I believe that's Wilcox, is it not?
No, Wilcox is 33, so unless they change numbers here.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
As the play gets back underway, we don't see Dorocolo leaving the net too commonly, but with a burst of speed, Raider looking for a fifth one. And this is where Sudbury is so dangerous. Not just do they have some great shooting, as we saw from Insigne, but they can also, it's a case of when it rains, it pours. Their momentum is infectious around the team. 7 minutes gone, and they put 4 goals past Daniel DeRoccola. It was a delayed offside, so McMillan has to go back. Puck is in Sudbury's zone. Sudbury brings it up. Bouchard brings it over for Insigne. And Miles Gordon plays it behind. Signoretti was right there, and it's McMillan who picks it up. He tries to get it out of the zone. Signoretti's giving him some trouble, though. Thompson up for McMillan. McMillan trying to dance around his man, but a good defensive play from Justin Seguin. And now here's Hauser. Hauser's able to gain the zone on side as he lost control of the puck. Now a bad giveaway almost to Shields. Now coming back the other way is Patrick. Patrick, he's got Smith with him. Patrick still with it. He shoots. He scores! A classic goal from Ryan Patrick over the shoulder of the blocker's side of Metivier. Makes the water bottle pop up, and it's a 4-3 game.
That is exactly what Powassan needed at this moment to step back into the game, takes away some of that momentum. That was a nice shot that hit the water bottle. It popped up a little bit. I was hoping it was going to send it right off, but it didn't quite make it there.
Well, and it shows how how this game is going to be back and forth. You might not like it if you're a Voodoos fan, you might not like it if you're a Sudbury fan at times, but this is the excitement that you get when these two teams play each other. And even though it looked like it was all Powassan in the first period, this is kind of the period you expect between these two. It's now 4-3 Greater Sudbury. We've seen 5 goals. Check that. 5 goals in the span of 8 minutes of play. And we've seen a goalie change. DeRoccola leads for Gordon. A bad giveaway as Kavanaugh just has to dump it in. Bad giveaway there from Zach Turner. But we've seen almost a suffocating-esque play from the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Not allowing Powassan any room, but a bad defensive play. Their defense breaks down, and a great opportunity as it goes down for icing against Powassan. And all of a sudden, Patrick takes advantage. And I thought he was going to look for Smith, but he decides to take a shot, and it was a good thing he did because it's 4-3.
In that play, it's usually a pass over a shot, and Metivier wasn't looking like he was favoring the pass at all, so I'm really surprised he took the shot, but he must have saw what the rest of us couldn't see, and
which was the back of the net.
Yeah.
Play gets underway as the Voodoos win the faceoff in their own zone. Turner just clears it out, but that's going to be another icing call, as maybe not the smartest play from Zach Turner, but it's going to go against the Powassan Voodoos for icing.
And that's, you don't want it to be taking icing all the time, but if you got to get the puck out, you got to get the puck out, right?
It did seem like he had a little bit of room to move, but it's been that kind of game where they haven't, I feel like Powassan doesn't feel like they have a lot of time with the puck right now. And Greater Sudbury, got to give them a lot of credit for the way they're playing in this period. They are playing like you would expect a top team from the Western Conference to play. As they win, the Cubs win the faceoff, and a Insigne shot from the point goes off the side of the net. The Voodoos get out. Mason Chitteroni is able to clear it down, and Shields now sends it around. Chitteroni with it in his own zone. He gets knocked off the puck strongly by Turner. Now the puck in the near side. It's picked up by McElhaney. Back for Jackson Smith. His shot. Turner tips it, but it goes wide. Puck comes out to the slot area. Good chance from Lemke. He shoots, and it's blocked. A good block there by Kavanaugh. Puck comes to the blue line, but not out as Alex Little keeps it in, fresh off the bench. And now McElhaney puts in a big hit against Kavanaugh. McElhaney fighting for the puck behind the net, but it's going to be picked up there by Smetham, but he loses possession to Insigne. Insigne sends it up to Mason Chitteroni. Chitteroni sends it down, and there's Jackson Smith. Now we're seeing some back and forth play between these two teams. Lemke over to Smetham. His shot goes up high on Metivier, and he makes the save. Voodoos now looking for the equalizing goal here, which would now make it 6 goals, and if they got it, 6 goals in 10 minutes of play. Puck comes out to the blue line, but kept in by Jaden Sturge. Sturge takes a shot, but it goes in traffic. Now another opportunity from Lemke. Lemke keeps it in. Sudbury blocking a couple of good shots. Lemke's weak shot from the point gets sent wide. And now Sudbury trying to break out. He kind of goes back and forth and almost loses it to Rubik. But it's a good defensive play there by Caleb Dawson to keep that from happening. And now the puck back in the Voodoo zone. Sudbury pressing here. Russo with it. Russo gets it to Dawson. Dawson just sends it up and out. Won't have enough legs for icing, though, as Dubroy is right there, and he goes hard into the boards. And now the puck is behind the net, in front of the slot, but Dubroy wasn't paying attention. Slow to get up there is Cole Quevillon, as he was looking to the ref, looking for a potential penalty, as they both went in hard. But no call coming. Puck on the near side. Puck now comes loose to Innes. Innes brings it up for Sudbury. He's got a couple of guys with him. Innes takes a shot, stopped by Gordon. Miles Gordon coming in after Duraklo gave up, and now there's Mativier. He plays it off the glass, looking for Shanks. Shanks is not able to get around his man, Alex Case. And now there's a big hit in the middle of the ice by LaCroix on Smith. Fans wanted a penalty on that, as it looked like it could have been an interference call, as the puck was nowhere near him. And now Thompson lays out the body. So now we're starting to get into the physical play between these two teams, which of course is bound to happen. Thompson, his pass to Rafe Smith is not where it should be. And now Thompson tries to get it to Smith again. Smith is going to get it there. Smith, he's got Thompson in the slot. He decides to pass it over to McMillan, but the saucer pass is a little too hot to handle. McMillan, now his shot from a sharp angle goes off the side of the net, around all the way around to Ricci. Ricci sends it over there to Rafe Smith. Case has it. Case on the near side of the boards. He sends it back to McMillan. McMillan in front for Smith. And he kind of just deflects it into the corner. Up for McMillan, his shot off the side of the net. Powassan here really looking for that equalizing goal. Case, he sends it. A little tip shot from McMillan from a tight angle. And it's stopped by Mativier. And now there was Samuel Sinue was cherry picking there and almost caught the Voodoos napping, but Miles Gordon hangs on, and we are going to our mid-period break with just over 8 minutes to go. You are watching the Frontline Game Day broadcast, brought to you by Average Joe's on Flow Hockey, and listening on the Frontline YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, welcome back to the Powassan Sportsplex. 7:43 to go in the second period, and Ben, this has been probably the craziest second period I think that we have seen all season long, it feels like, here at the Sportsplex. We've seen 4 goals from Sudbury, 1 goal from Powassan. They came in leading 2-0, and now they're down 4-3.
I don't even know what to say about it, Ben.
And it's getting chippy.
Yeah. I mean, when you have high scoring like that, you get a goalie pulled, you see a couple big hits. We're in for an interesting game for the rest of the game, I think.
Hudson Chitteroni, how about 2 goals for him right off the hop? A few minutes into this period, then Samuel Sinue with a snipe to make it 4-2 before Ryan Patrick with a snipe of his own. If you look at the goals that Sudbury has, most of them have been really nice shots.
Yeah.
And now we see Miles Gordon coming in for Daniel Duraklo.
And Gordon hasn't seen a whole lot of play. He's seen 5 games, but he still has pretty good numbers to back him up behind those 5 games. So I don't think we're not in the bad hands here by any means.
Now keep in mind, Duraklo did play yesterday. Right off the hop, as the play resumes, Zach Turner almost had an opportunity, but couldn't get it in a clearing attempt in front. Turner now just dumps it into the Sudbury zone. Duraklo did play in that 9-2 victory against French River last night, so maybe that might go into a couple of those goals where he seemed a little bit behind. But both ways, you got to give a lot of credit to both Chitteroni and Sinue with those really good shots. However, despite the score, it is the Voodoos still leading 28-15 in shots. But it's been a much different second period than it was for the first period. Now here's a chance. Alex Little, his shot goes wide. Voodoos with possession in the zone. Jackson Smith sends it down, wraps it around for Ryan Patrick. The Voodoos goal scorer this period. Patrick sends it around for Case, who has to pinch in to keep that puck in. As it was Hudson Chitteroni right there looking to break out. Behind the net, here's an opportunity in front. Smetham right there, he scores, and this game is tied. Reese Smetham, a beautiful feed from Lemke, and it's 4-4 with 6:41 to go in the second period.
That was just exactly what you want to be doing in an offensive zone. There's good puck control, good passing around, found the open man in front of the net, and he just tucked it into the side of the net where Metivier just had no chance to get to it.
Well, same goal as Ryan Patrick, same side as Ryan Patrick, but you gotta say, if you're Greater Sudbury, you can't allow a guy to get into that high-scoring slot area and not get a body on him. So a little bit of a defensive miscue, but I think right now if you're the Voodoos players, you're probably thinking high blocker side might be the way to go against Metivier.
Yep.
But right off the faceoff, Walker, a shot goes high and wide over Gordon's blocker side. This game is nowhere close to being done, and I think we're going to get easily over double digits in goals between these two teams. I would not be surprised to see maybe a 7-6 scoreline by the time this one's over. There's still 6 minutes to go in this one. Lemke over to Case. Case, a shot does not get through traffic. I will say this as a fan, though, these are always really fun, and as a broadcaster, really fun to watch.
Yeah, for
because
sure they are.
It's so back and forth. But if you are a diehard fan of either of these teams, it's actually terrible because of the stress that can come. But
or if you're a staff member, I'm sure you're a particular GM down in the corner of the bench losing your mind.
Absolutely. 5:47 to go in the second period. And a much better hockey game from the Greater Sudbury Cubs, much better period of play. But the Voodoos, despite struggling in the first half of the period, have come out flying themselves. And it should set up an exciting last 25 minutes. Here's a shot, Rafe Smith! And it ends up going high and out of play. I think Metivier might have gotten a body on it, but either way, it's going to go out for a face-off with 5:30 to go.
I wasn't sure if Metivier got a body on that or if it was the stick in front that got it, because Metivier didn't seem to know where the puck went. And it, was fired and ended up in the mesh behind him.
4-4 hockey game. It's been an exciting one so far. Right off the face-off, shot goes wide. 29-16 the shots in favor of the Voodoos. We will have a very exciting last 25 minutes of play, and maybe more depending on how this one goes out. McMillan comes down. McMillan over a chance, a shot from Brayden Viz, but it's gloved down by Metivier. Surprised he didn't go blocker side there when you consider the last two goals in this period have both come on that high blocker side.
I think that tempting, especially as a left-handed shot to go over a left-handed catcher, is just that cross-body shot is just always the inclination.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Viz would have loved a new member of the team to have popped one in this game to go ahead against the rivals.
Especially as a defenseman as well, right? That you don't usually see too many goal scoring come from the defense unless your name is Alex Little. Sinue dumps it into the Voodoos zone. Gordon shoves it into the corner. Coming into this game, out of 5 games, the Sudbury's won 4 of them. The Voodoos have only taken 3 points. 1 regulation win. That was a 3-1 win back on October 4th. And they've also lost one in extra time as well. So the Voodoos would love to even it up a little bit. Again, a win here tonight would put them within 2 points of first in the East of the Timmins Rock. Meanwhile, if you're Greater Sudbury, as here's Hudson Chitteroni looking for the hat trick. Chitteroni shoots, goes high, glove side, but it goes off the crossbar and out of play. Chitteroni that close.
Was that crossbar or the arm of Gordon?
I believe that hit the crossbar. You could hear the little ding from up here.
Either way, that was a great play by Sudbury. One thing that Powassan's going to have to be watching here is, and we've seen it time and time again, where Smith likes to kind of take off and creep a little bit out ahead and get some breakaways. They just have to make sure he doesn't get away with those.
Yeah, they really like stretching the ice out in the neutral zone, and we almost saw that at the end of the period with Sinue, who was kind of cherry-picking at the end, and he almost got away with it. So something the Voodoos are probably going to have to watch. And we do have a bit of a smaller neutral zone in this building as well. So you don't have a lot of room to maneuver. Now play back underway behind the net. Good opportunity for Sudbury at the side of the net as fighting for it there is Cameron Shanks. Puck comes out. There's Cameron Walker fighting with it, but he loses possession. Voodoos looking to get it out, but Walker steals it. Walker with an opportunity. He's got Martin with him right there. Shanks also with him, and now the puck is cleared out of the zone by the Voodoos. I think at this point, the Voodoos would be just happy going into the break tied at 4. But if you're Greater Sudbury, you want to get that one extra goal and have some momentum going into the third. And it all started with that Ryan Patrick penalty that ended the first period that gave the momentum to Greater Sudbury right out of the gate. Walker with a shot from the point. Here's an opportunity. The puck is loose in the front of the slot, but nobody can get it, and it's cleared there by Jaden Sturge. And now a chance, and it goes in off a body, and it looks like that was Hauser with the last touch as it goes by Gordon, and it's 5-4 for the Greater Sudbury Cubs.
That was a weird shot. It was screened, and it was tipped, and it bounced around a little bit. And
it looked like it went off the Voodoos defender and through the 5-hole of Miles Gordon.
Yeah, it looked like it came up and even almost hit like the bottom of his pad, and that's a crushing one if you're on the Voodoos bench.
Well, just finished saying that Greater Sudbury would love to get that goal going into the period, but
so I'm sure what we're going to see now is Powassan pushing really hard for the next 3.5 minutes to try and catch up and go into come into the next period tied. But with 3 minutes, we've seen 4 goals happen that quickly this game so far.
With Greater Sudbury, this is a perfect situation for them. If you're the Powassan Voodoos, it was kind of a heartbreaking one to give up in this game. Here's Lemke now. Lemke with a burst of speed down the side. He's got McElhaney with him. McElhaney, but it's in his skates and he couldn't get a good shot off. And that was almost the equalizer there, but back the other way because Kavanaugh trying to look for Smith, but he gets knocked off of it. McElhaney now, Lemke's not able to get around Chitteroni, and Hudson Chitteroni gets it out to Kavanaugh. Little chips it, but he's not able to get it by. Reese Smetham picks it up. Smetham, one of the goal scorers. Him and Ryan Patrick for the Voodoos in this period. So that is confirmation. Brock Hauser credited with the goal, his 6th of the year. Probably one of the weirdest and easiest goals he'll ever score in the NOJHL or really any level of professional hockey. As Mason Chitteroni sends it in. And Thompson gets thrown into the boards as he loses an edge. Now behind the net. 2:18 to go in the second period. A couple of guys fighting for in the corner. It comes out for Innes. Innes, his shot, and it goes wide as Gordon didn't quite see it. But it ends up going wide of the net. Both teams fighting for it behind the net. Puck comes out to Jaden Sturge looking to spread McMillan out, but it's stolen well there by Hudson Martin. And the puck back in the Voodoo zone. Sturge brings it in. Sturge, he just dumps it past, and it'll be Mativier who sends it into the corner. But a bad giveaway in front, and there's a good opportunity from Rafe Smith. Smith trying to get it over to Case. Case has it. Case, his shot goes into the sprawling body of Kevion. Puck comes out loose. Now a chance for McMillan. He's protesting for a penalty there, but it looked like he almost lost an edge a little bit more than getting pushed off. And now McMillan gets sent down as there was a couple of body collisions between him and Brady Bouchard. Martin sends it back into the Voodoo zone. A minute 15 to go in this second period. 5-4. Coming into this period, the Voodoos were leading 2-0. I do not think that's what people thought the score would be. For those who haven't been tuned in, it's going to be a bit of a shock, I would think. As the puck in the Greater Sudbury zone. Trying to get it through the neutral zone. Case kicks away. Here's Tucker Shields with it. Shields trying to dump it in. It's picked up by Hauser. Right now has the game-winning goal accredited to him, and the clearing attempt goes off the body of Zach Turner and out of play with 50 seconds left in the second period.
This is going to be, this has been an interesting period with so much back and forth.
One adjective to explain it.
Yeah. It's been something.
It's been one of the periods of all time.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm going to say that's probably the most exciting period I've broadcasted this year.
Yeah.
Though the Espanola games have been close, but that's just because there was live brawls.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of side. Face-off won by the Voodoos, and then the shot from the point by Alex Little is gloved down by Mativier. 46 seconds to go.
And he bobbled that one a little bit where he had block or catch or save, and it kind of went up, and he made sure to grab it because that would have been a great chance for Powassan to have an open net from a puck fumble like that.
So Sudbury leading 5-4. A weird deflected goal for Brock Hauser to get his 6th of the year to take the lead with about 3 minutes to go in this period, or else we would have been going in the break 4-4. Gordon misplays that puck and almost pays for it, but it ends up getting tipped wide. Alex Little bringing it up. It was passed by McElhaney, but Little couldn't handle the returning pass. Puck goes behind. Gordon's going to play it. Gordon came in after Rockalo gave up the 4th goal of this period. And the Voodoos one last chance with 12 seconds to go. McElhaney goes around his man, can't get a shot off. And now Sudbury has one last chance with 5 seconds to go. Insigne, he's got a goal in this period, but he just gets pushed over by Lemke. And that is going to do it for the second period. A wild one. Again, the Voodoos came in up 2-0. And we're going to the break for the final 20 with the Greater Sudbury Cubs leading 5-4. The shots 32-17 in favor of the Powassan Voodoos. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be getting ready for the third and final period of play. You are watching the Frontline Game Day broadcast brought to you by Average Joe's on Flow Hockey and listening on the Frontline Game Day YouTube channel.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day. Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
We welcome you back to the Powassan Sportsplex for the final 20 minutes of play, and it is the Greater Sudbury Cubs leading the Powassan Voodoos 5-4. I'm Ben Sargent, alongside with me, Ben Long. 32-17, the shots in favor of the Powassan Voodoos. But what a wild second period. Let's take a quick look at the scoring summary. Hudson Chitteroni starting things off 22 seconds in with his 19th of the year on the power play, and then not even 20 seconds later at the 41-second mark, he gets his 20th of the season, Chitteroni again, before Cameron Walker at the 3:34 mark makes it 3-2 Greater Sudbury. Samuel Sinaway 3 minutes later makes it 4-2. Then Ryan Patrick and Reese Smith in back-to-back goals for the Voodoos tie things up before Brock Hauser gives the Sudbury Cubs a lead 5-4, and that's where we stand, Ben. What's going to have to happen for both these teams in this third period?
Well, for Powassan, they need to do not that. That was just a not great second period for them. After the best period we've seen them play, I think, all year, to have that period, they're going to have to bounce back and have more towards what they did in the first period. They want to come out ahead here. They have to get off to a strong start here. For Sudbury, they have to keep doing what they did that period, right? Controlling the puck, getting the shots, getting that puck towards the net still. I mean, but when you look at even shots on goal, heavily in favor of Powassan still. So they just have to do what they're doing in the first period, making good chances and make sure they make good on those chances.
Absolutely, and both teams have a lot to play for. This isn't just a random January game. The Voodoos, if they win, will find themselves only 2 points back at the Timmins Rock for top and east. Coming into this game, the Greater Sudbury Cubs were tied for first in the West with the Blind River Beavers, who are also in action tonight. They lead the Sioux Michigan Eagles 4-1 going into the third period. So if Greater Sudbury wants to keep in tow with Blind River, they need to win tonight to do that. But the way this game goes, we could easily be seeing like a 7-6, 8-7 final at this point.
It really could be. Like, the sky's the limit. We saw 7 goals in that last period. We could potentially see another 7 again this period.
And don't be shocked if this thing goes to extra time either, because that goes. Now, that being said, in the first 5 games, Greater Sudbury is 4-0-1. They've lost one in the they lost one in the shootout, but they've won 4 other ones. The Voodoos only picking up 3 out of a possible 10 points, which is not ideal. But Greater Sudbury has always been a pain in the side. They've been a great team for the last few years.
Now, the other thing that's on the line here for this game, aside from the valuable 2 points at hand, is this is a rivalry. These teams play each other regularly. You know, even if it was a game for nothing, it would never be a game for nothing between these two teams.
I don't think you can say it any better yourself. They get ready for the face-off to start the third period, which should be exciting. 5-4 Greater Sudbury leads, 20 minutes in between them and a victory on the road here in Powassan. The other side, the Voodoos are looking to come back and steal 2 points from Sudbury. It's been an exciting start as the puck drops and we're underway. Right off the bat, Ryan Patrick, who's got a goal in this game, sends it in the Sudbury zone. Mativier up there. Miles Gordon, by the way, still in net as he was He was put in this game after Daniel DeRocco was pulled following the Sinue goal. He's given up one goal here on kind of a bad luck bounce as Brockhauser put it off a chance, and now here's a chance for Kavanaugh. He dances around his guy. Kavanaugh shot. Gordon stopped. The puck was loose, and Gordon did not see it. It's cleared by the Voodoos. It's going to go down for icing, but that was a great opportunity for Greater Sudbury to go up 2.
You never want to be icing it, but when there's a puck loose open in front of the net, you know, it is very easy for Sudbury to pop another quick one in here and be up 2, and you don't want that. So that icing was is a welcome.
And the thing is, they've taken their chances. They haven't taken a lot of shots, but 17 shots, 5 goals, only 12 saves between the 2 goalies so far in this one. This play gets back underway in the Voodoo zone to the right of Miles Gordon. There's Patrick, tries to get it out, but he can't get it out. A sloppy play there as it's picked up by Cameron Shanks. Now wrapped around, and Brockhauser down for Walker. Walker in the nearby boards, but Little ties him up against the boards. Now they're both looking at it, trying to move the puck, or else the referees are wondering how long they're going to let this go before they blow it dead. And now finally the puck gets loose, or so they think. But you just got to think how long. We saw this last game in the French River one. It was a very quick whistle. The puck still stuck between the boards there, and now it finally comes out, and it's picked up by the Voodoos. Trying to get it out there was Shields, but he was stopped. Now Alex Little comes in. He sends it off. That's going to go out of play into the net, and that'll give both teams a much-needed change. Don't often see that kind of, when the puck gets held up against the boards, usually don't see it go on that long.
No, usually you'll have a whistle down, or you'll see the puck will get knocked out, but yeah, that was, I don't know, probably good 30 seconds.
And the referee was not, didn't even really entertain the fact of blowing his whistle. His hand wasn't even raised up to his mouth in any way. Gordon out to play it as the puck goes into the Voodoo zone. Here's McElhaney. McElhaney can't handle that pass, and it does feel like at times the Voodoos are playing very sloppily. But speaking of sloppy play, good play by McElhaney. He's got Lemke with him. Lemke on the backhand shoots. It goes wide. As Sudbury almost made a mistake there. Now McElhaney is not able to stop his man, and a shot off the stick there of Kevion, but it goes wide. Innes takes a slapper, and what a goal, as it is Ben Harris tipping home a shot from the point from Innes to make it 6-4 Greater Sudbury.
That was a great tip by Harris. Unfortunate for the Voodoos that it was...
Well, it went top shelf over the glove.
I thought that was missing the net, and I didn't see there's a guy there to make the tip, and he made the tip, and it was just bullet right to the top net off his stick.
Well, it was Innes who takes a shot from the point, and it looked like it was going to be an innocent enough shot. Harris comes out of nowhere, and no chance for Miles Gordon, as that went as top shelf as you could go. And now it's a 2-goal lead, but there's still 17 minutes to play in this game, 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Lots of times for the Voodoos to come back as it goes into the Voodoo zone for icing. That's the 7th of the year for Ben Harris. But that's kind of a combination of, you'd like to think that Innes knew that Harris was there looking for the tip, but that might have just been one of those ones where you just throw it on net and hope something happens.
That's the way it goes a lot of times in hockey, and that's why you always hear coaches saying, just put it on net, just put it on net, just put it on net, because someone gets a stick on it and it happens to go the right way,
or a rebound, something happens. Chase Thompson wins the face-off. McMillan has it around. Looking in front, nobody was there to pick up the pass. Jackson Smith, shot from the point, goes wide. And Alex Little picks it up. He sends it around the boards looking for somebody. McMillan wrapping around, but he just gets there as he was being chased there by Sagan. Sagan fighting for it. Also down there is Smith and Martin. Martin has it. He sends it up to Hudson Chitteroni looking for the hat trick, and Smith fans a little bit on the dump-in attempt. And McMillan losing it to Asinue, both number 10s for their respective teams. And that play up to Chitteroni was blocked, a good stick from Ray Smith, but then stealing it back is Asinue. Asinue with a goal in this game as well. He has it going around, wrapping around the Voodoo's net. He puts it in front for Chitteroni. Now back for Kavanaugh. A weak shot goes wide, and it's picked up by Lacroix, but Lacroix loses it. And now Ray Smith trying to break out. Smith just couldn't get around his man as he can't pick up that attempt cleanly. He goes off for a change. Lacroix looking for Kavanaugh. His pass goes out of his reach. Justin Russo almost misplays it, but now he picks it up at the side of his net. He passes it up for Braden Viz. Viz comes in. He'll just dump and chase after landing a pretty big hit there on Mason Chitteroni. Now puck in front for Dubois. Caden Dubois, a shot, but it goes right into the body of Matevier, and he hangs on for a whistle. 16-17 left to go. The Greater Sudbury Cubs have a 2-goal advantage.
And that was sort of an innocent play that turned into a high danger chance by DeBroy right there in front of the net. Fortunately for the Sudbury Cubs that Matevier was able to grab it and hold it, but plays like that where you just never know what's going to happen.
Well, both teams have been a little sloppy in their own zone. We've actually seen a lot of passes from the Voodoos that go cross east-west in their own zone trying to get it out that they haven't been burned on yet, but a good example was that last play where Viz got up. Now comes in and Lacroix trying to get there, but it's Zach Turner is the first one to get it and to get it away from danger as the puck's in the Voodoo zone. Viz to his partner Jaden Sturge. Sturge with it behind his own net. He's looking to set something up for the Voodoos. His pass over to Turner. He's just going to tip it and go all the way down into the Cubs zone. Mason Chitteroni gets it around but Bouchard couldn't handle it. Ricci makes a nice move around Bouchard. Ricci still with it. Ricci into the slot, a shot, but it gets blocked. Case keeps it in the zone. He sends it around for Turner. Turner just sends it around the back of the net, but the Voodoo's in the midst of a change. And the Cubs come around, and it was almost stolen by Lemke, but he couldn't quite get a look at the puck. And Bouchard now, his shot/dumping attempt goes off the roof here at the Sportsplex for a whistle. 6-4 Greater Sudbury with 15:19 to go.
That's one of those things with having a low ceiling here. You see a lot more pucks flip up and hit the top than you do in most of the other rinks.
It is a very short, it is a very low arena. You don't have a lot of space with the glass. Don't have a lot of space with the roof, and a shot right off by Kevion, but it deflects wide right off the draw. Voodoos with possession. That's Case. Case gets it out of the zone, but he's not able to hit his intended man. But a good play from McElhaney to get his man off of it. Here's Lemke. Lemke up to Case, joining in on the rush, but Case couldn't get a good shot off. There's Reese Smith, and back to the point for Lemke. Lemke looking for McElhaney, but it goes wide. And now Shank's looking to break out for the Cubs, but he just dumps it in, and Gordon will just leave it there for Alex Little. Little, they had a pregame ceremony for Alex Little as he was the top scoring defenseman now in Voodoo's history, as he has been a huge part of this Voodoo's the last few seasons. Greater Sudbury has it in their own zone. That's Oliver Smith, the captain, playing it around, but he's being chased by Lemke. The puck ends up going out of play in the Sudbury zone for a whistle.
And as you mentioned, we have the glass is a little lower than we have at some other rinks, and the roof's a bit lower. It's also a lot smaller size, which is always interesting when you see games here versus when you see them at the Greater Sudbury Cubs home arena, as it's an international size rink, so it's even bigger than regulation.
Yeah, and that gives you so much more lateral movement. One of the things that a lot of import players tend to have struggles with when it comes to adapting to the game here. There's a chance here for McMillan, but he can't get a good shot away. And now breaking back the other way are the Cubs. And deciding just to flip it in there is Asenue. Asenue chasing after it against Smith. He picks it up. Asenue sends it over to Smith. Smith can't get a good shot off. And then it's just cleared out there by Rafe Smith. And Oliver Smith picks it up. Again, 3 Smiths playing. Oliver Smith for the Cubs. Rafe and Jackson Smith for the Voodoos. None of them are related. Here's Chitteroni. Chitteroni gets a shot off his Sagan, but it goes off a skate and wide. Powassan starting to miss out on some time. They only have 13 and a half minutes to try to get 2 goals past Matevier. They have 4 in the game so far, but trail 6-4. And yet they have 33 shots on net to Sudbury's 18. Here's Kavanaugh, brings it into the zone, into the Voodoo zone. Puck comes around behind the net. Sturge plays it around for Caleb Dawson. Dawson can't quite get enough on that clearing attempt, and that's not going to turn into anything as Sturge clears it out. And the dump-in attempt stolen by Braden Viz, but his pass just out of the reach of Justin Russo. So Greater Sudbury in possession again. And we've seen this from both teams having issues passing it cleanly to each other. The puck in the feet of Mason Chitteroni. It's picked up by Scourge. Scourge is just going to dump it in. And facing after is Caden Dubroy, but it's going to be picked up there by Hudson Martin. There's Cameron Shanks. He tries to tip it into the zone, and he does, but Ricci's there before it gets deep into the zone, and he sends it out to Dubroy through the neutral zone. Dubroy loses it. Sudbury in possession of the neutral zone, and it's dumped back into the Voodoos zone. No icing. Here's Carson Ricci. He looks to get into the neutral zone, but he loses possession. Sudbury with it in their own zone. And that, again, dumping it back into Powassan's. Case with it near around the back of his own zone, but he gives it away to Walker. Almost a bad giveaway. Walker looking for somebody in the slot, but nobody's there. And it'll be Tucker Shields clearing it around the back of the net. And in the far boards, that'll be Ricci. Carson Ricci looking to break out for the Voodoos. Now a chance for Ryan Patrick, but he was offside. And he's going to have to go and check up at the blue line. Greater Sudbury with it in their own zone. Bringing it up is a Sinue. He chips it over for Chitteroni. Chitteroni looking for the hat trick. But it's not a good shot. And now Chitteroni steals it. His shot and stopped by Gordon. Sinue in front looking for somebody. Smith was right there but couldn't get a stick on it. And there's Patrick for the Voodoos. Back to Cameron Lemke. Lemke over to Reese Smetham. And again, it feels like Sudbury is right now smothering the Voodoos. They're doing a great job of not allowing the Voodoos to really gain the zone right now. There's 11 minutes to go. Greater Sudbury with a 6-4 lead. It's Alex Little, the captain, with it behind his own net. McElhaney looking for Reese Smetham. It's out of his range. Cameron Lemke steals that a clearing attempt, but he's not able to get a good shot off. Braden Viz wraps it around. Lemke in the far side's looking to get it. Harris not letting him, but Lemke steals it anyways. Lemke looking for someone in front. Lemke in front to McElhaney. He scores! Dylan McElhaney. And it's a 1-goal lead now for the Greater Sudbury Cubs. 6-5 with just over half the period to go.
You know, you might have been onto something when you're saying we might end up with a 6-7 game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's his first goal as a Voodoo for Dylan McElhaney. And a great feed from Cameron Lemke. He keeps the puck in the zone, and then he's able to find McElhaney in the slot. That
goal was 100% the result of hard work by Lemke to keep the puck in there and to keep control of it until he could make the play.
Just like that, it's a 6-5 game, and this is not over yet. They still have 10 minutes and 33 seconds to try to equalize it. And that clearing attempt goes right into the body of Miles Gordon. Case with it. And again, if you thought this game is over, it is not, and it won't be over until probably if there's an empty net goal to ice the game. Again, McElhaney is first as a Voodoo, so congratulations to him. Carson Ricci with it. Ricci, he gets his pocket picked, and it gets sent back the other way into the Voodoo zone. Case has it. Case looking for Ray Smith. His pass was very high. Smith couldn't corral it. It ends up getting cleared, but off the body of Chase Thompson. And now Thompson breaks out. He can't get his pass. It gets picked off by Mason Chitteroni. Chitteroni threw it. And Carson Ricci stops that attempt. Down the back for Oliver Smith. Smith in front looking for Hudson Chitteroni, who's looking for the hat trick. And now Chitteroni and Case collide. And looking to break out with it was McMillan, but he gets his pocket picked. Here's Oliver Smith looking for Chitteroni. Asenue shoots, he scores! Samuel Asenue is second of the game, and Greater Sudbury regains their 2-goal lead. It's now 7-5.
I mean, that was some great play by the Sudbury Cubs. It was a little bit sloppy from both sides, actually, with the puck bouncing around a bit, but they were able to take control of it and get a good chance that they could capitalize on and put themselves up another extra goal here.
Well, Sudbury.
As you said, this game isn't over until that last buzzer goes. This one's not going to be settled.
That is going to be a hard one to swallow, though, for the Voodoos, and a big goal for the Cubs, but you're right, both teams can't keep the foot off the gas, and that's just great pressing there from the Cubs. Great pressure, not allowing the Voodoos to break out, but here they go again. The Cubs, another opportunity. Zach Turner has it in his own zone, tries, but his clearing attempt goes off Harris. Harris in front, but he can't get a shot away. Tucker Shields has it. Shields looking to just get it out, and again, Sudbury not giving the Voodoos any room to breathe. Jackson Smith with it, right by the face-off dot. His pass to Turner, now goes off the body of Mason Chitteroni, so no icing, and all the way back into the Cubs zone. Cubs break out again. Mason Chitteroni, he's got Shanks with him on the side. His shot goes off the stick of Jaden Sturgeon wide. Puck on the near side. Chitteroni leaves it for Innes. Innes shot, that goes off a stick. Walker with a shot, that also gets blocked. And now it comes to the point. Here's a chance. Mason Chitteroni, his shot goes wide. Puck comes off, and Miles Gordon sprawling to cover up that puck as we go into our mid-period break. The Greater Sudbury Cubs with a 7-5 lead. You're watching the Frontline Game Day broadcast on Flow Hockey and listening on the Frontline Game Day YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
And we will have our Dave's 3 Stars following the conclusion of the game. You can also see our McDonald's North Bay Sturgeon Falls player of the game as well following the game on socials, depending on how this one shakes out. It is 7-5 for the Greater Sudbury Cubs so far. Ben, what have we seen? It's just about 8.5 to go in this period.
They picked up where last period left off, where both teams were just making advantage of chances, right? Like they just... I don't even know, Ben. There's been so much goal scoring. And the amount of goals for the amount of shots on net just is not indicative of what you usually see from either of these teams. Like, in terms of their goaltending, we usually see much better save percentages than we're seeing tonight.
22 shots, 7 goals for the Greater Sudbury Cubs. 34 shots, 5 goals for the Voodoos. Greater Sudbury putting a lot of pressure on the Voodoos as play gets back underway. It's won by the Voodoos in their own zone. Case loses the puck as he gets bodied off of it by Shanks, but Case picks it back up. He's being chased by Martin. He gets it over to McElhaney, the goal scorer for the Voodoos in this period. But even then, the Greater Sudbury Cubs have a couple of guys. Sinuwe with a pair of goals, Hutchin Chitteroni with a pair of goals. And a lot of these goals, too, have either been lucky bounces or deflections in front. I wouldn't say lucky, but, well, the Hauser one was, yes, but if you look at the Ben Harris one, that was pretty much all skill.
Yeah, there's been so many just nice shots, nice offensive chances. It's almost like the defense decided, let's let these offensive guys have a go tonight.
And when the Greater Sudbury Cubs press, they are causing a lot of issues as well for the Voodoos in their own zone. But the Voodoos have still found 5 past Matevier, who comes in with a very respectable 274 goals against average. Puck now in the Greater Sudbury zone. McElhaney can't keep it in. It comes out for Carson Ricci in the neutral zone. Ricci just dumps it back into the glove of Matevier, who's going to leave it there for Jacob Sagan. Sagan, he's being chased by Lemke. Lemke is not able to keep it in as it goes back into the Voodoos area of the ice. Jackson Smith with it. Smith in his second game as a Powassan Voodoo. Scored a goal in his first game last night against the French River Rapids. Here's Dawson, a feed from Justin Russo. He's got Dubroy with him, but Dawson's not able to get it now. Puck in front for Alex Little, but he can't quite get a good stick on it. And Sudbury breaks up the other way. Sinuwe, he goes through, but he's going to be well offside. He thought he was onside, but the linesman begs to differ. He's looking for a hat trick alongside with Hutchin Chitteroni.
That line has really put up some numbers. And it's the same thing as we saw with the Voodoos' first 2 goals. They put them up in an awful hurry with the same guys on the ice. Sudbury came back and did the same thing.
Absolutely. Now they're having a discussion here to see where the face-off's going to take because of where the pass was. Is it going to go back into the Sudbury zone? Looks like it's going to be just outside of the Sudbury zone where they'll take it. Again, it was kind of a long pass. And Sinuwe was offside. So it'll be McMillan taking the face-off against the captain, Oliver Smith. And it's won by Smith. Senue picks it up right off the face-off. He's got it in his own zone. Tries to get it over to Hudson Chitteroni, but it's out of his reach. It's going to go down for an icing call. 7 minutes, 6:59 to go in this game, and Powassan needs to find 2 goals to tie.
And they put 2 in a hurry so far tonight. So you can't write off the fact that they're going to, but it's going to be tough against the Sudbury team. They're really playing with great pressure.
Absolutely. So Chase Thompson now will take the face-off against Oliver Smith. And Thompson wins it, but McMillan fans on it. But Thompson's going to regain possession. Thompson puts it in front. Matevier tries to knock it down, but Mason Chitteroni is there too. They kind of collide a little bit. But it ends up not being an issue as it goes back into the Voodoos end of the ice. Case. His pass over to Thompson, and his Sinue was right there causing some havoc. You got to assume that the Voodoos need a goal here maybe in the next 4 minutes, give or take, to have a chance to want to tie it late in this game. There's Little looking for the breakout pass to Thompson, but Kavanaugh gets a stick on it. A good play there by the Sudbury defender. Kavanaugh now with it in his own zone as it was dumped in by the Voodoos. Kavanaugh behind his net. He fans on it. There, almost a great opportunity for McMillan as I believe his stick broke as he throws it onto the ground. And then a shot attempt goes into the Matevier's glove and he holds on. And what an opportunity and almost a huge break for the Voodoos there.
That was very fortunate for the Cubs with that little pass out in front, or fanned pass that ended up out in front. Didn't go a couple extra feet to give a real good chance.
Absolutely.
Because that could have been dangerous. That could have been what put Powassan back into this game.
So Tucker Shields wins the face-off to the right of Matevier. Ricci a shot, and you can see Matevier trying to go around. He gloves it down, and now some frustrations as Turner is pushing and shoving there with, we'll have to see exactly who it looks like. It was either Walker or Kevion.
Number 9, I'm not sure.
That would be Ben Lacroix, but I believe he had an A on his jersey. Either way, Zach Turner has been known to get into the face of some opposing players. And the puck comes into the neutral zone. Both teams fighting for it in front of the Voodoos bench. Rubik's there, Patrick's there. Patrick's going to steal it, but he's not able to get around the Sudbury Ben Lacroix, and now Bouchard gets a big hit on Ricci. Bouchard brings it in, and now there's going to be an offside as Rubik was just a step ahead.
And we're starting to see some physical action, including after whistle stuff happening now, which usually we do see fairly early in the games between Powassan and Sudbury. I was surprised after the way the first period ended to see the game be as restrained as it has been.
Yeah.
We just see a lot of penalties, but we've seen a lot of goals instead.
So Walker for Sudbury lines up against Lemke outside of the Voodoo zone. It's won by Lemke. Little gets it over to Smith, to Jackson Smith. Little with it. He sends it up to Reese Smetham. He's got a man, McElhaney, with him, but his shot goes high and wide over the glove of Matevier. And now a break here for Greater Sudbury as coming down there was Hudson Martin who loses his footing, and Little sidesteps a man. He gets up looking for Reese Smetham. Reese Smetham's trying to get around the defense, but he's not able to. And now Shanks will dump it into the Voodoo zone. He's going to chase after his own dumping attempt. Shanks looking in front, and a great opportunity there looking for Cameron Walker, but he wasn't able to corral it. McElhaney fighting with it with Sagan. Walker also there. Smith in the neutral zone. And it goes back into Sudbury's zone. Sudbury gets it up. There's Chitteroni. Hudson Chitteroni with it. Chitteroni going through. Him and Sinue, both of them looking for hat tricks. And now a shot from the point goes up, and it looks like Gordon got a little piece of that one as he couldn't see it. And now a great opportunity here. Smith in the zone. Smith, a nice little backhand pass to McMillan, but he couldn't get a shot away. He's looking for a penalty as he thought he was being held by, it looks like, Brady Bouchard, but no call coming, and it's going to be a face-off with 4:26 to go and a 2-goal advantage for the Greater Sudbury Cubs.
That was a great play. I think this is what we're seeing a lot of, is a little extra overpassing. Instead of trying to make that extra pass back out to a man that's being covered in front, Smith should have taken a shot there. But you get what you get, right?
Absolutely. So face-off off to the left of Matevier, but they didn't like the way that the draw was done, so they'll have to redo it. Looks like McMillan is taking the draw versus Smith, and it's won by the captain of the Cubs. Into the corner, Sudbury looking to get it out, and it gets past Asinue, back to Smith, to Wraith Smith, I should say. McMillan not able to corral it. Chitteroni sends it back into the Voodoo zone. McMillan goes around his own net. 4 minutes now to go. Powassan in dire need of at least one here, but Smith's not able to dance around his man. It goes back to the neutral zone. McMillan sends it over to Thompson. Thompson looking for Smith. They say no icing as it hops over both Kavanaugh and Smith's stick. And out to play is Matevier. He gets it up, and then almost going into the zone was Ryan Patrick, but he would have been offside. Lacroix looking over for Harris. And Harris just is able to dump it in as he wasn't able to get a good look at the pass from Lacroix. The puck gets dumped down to Kavanaugh at the blue line of the Voodoo zone. Sudbury still with it, a chance in front. Gordon steers it into the slot area, and then it ends up getting cleared. That one's going to go off for icing with 3:15 to go. And if you're the Voodoos, Ben, what do you do right now to try to get at least one before the last minute of play?
I think I tell the players to simplify what they're doing. There's a lot of back and forth passes happening in their own zone that they're missing that are just allowing the Cubs to keep it in the Voodoo's end. And you got to get that puck out and down and get shots on net.
We'll have to see if Miles Gordon goes off to the bench. If Peter Goulet wants to try and get an extra attacker on there at some point. You don't want to wait too long, but you also don't want to give up another goal because that'll ice the game. Cameron Shanks playing in the Voodoo zone. Is now picked up by Thompson, and it's sent back behind the net for Jackson Smith. Smith looking for Wraith Smith. He sends it up for Patrick, but he gets taken down there by Chris Ennis. And now a shot from Shanks, saved there by Miles Gordon, and it's sent into the corner. Little, he's looking up for Chase Thompson, but he gets denied. Back the other way comes Ben Lacroix, but he can't get his man, and Patrick is going to try to spring Shields. Tucker Shields brings it down. Shields can't get around his man, so he has it on the near side in the Sudbury. Oh, right off the post! And the shot from Ryan Patrick was in tight and off the outside part of the post. Now 2:15 to go, and that looks like it will be an icing call against Greater Sudbury. So if you're going to pull Miles Gordon, now might be the time. And
yeah, it looks like you might be seeing a timeout play here.
Well, Gordon going to the bench, so it looks like
not a timeout though.
Yeah, it looks like they'll go for the extra attacker here. 2:13 to go. The Voodoos need 2 goals. And now they decide to take the timeout. So there we go. Great chance to, a great opportunity to tell you guys, if you enjoy what you are watching here today, you can always go over to our patreon.com/frontline podcast to, if you want to support us a little bit more, throw us a couple of dollars our way. It helps support the stream, but just being here and listening also helps as well. So thank you very much for your continued support. We have a lot of great stuff on the way. Of course, we'll have a new podcast coming out this week that'll go over some of the trades. The battalion making some huge trades today with Sarnia. That should be a very exciting one, getting the LeBlanc twins as well as another great forward. So if you want more on that, you can always look at Bay Today, who has Chris Dawson, the GM of the Voodoos, with a great article saying that they sent their young guy Carter Kostic and import Chekovich off to the Sarnia Stings along with a bunch of picks. But me and Courtney will be breaking that down this week. We also have Sunday. The Kitchener Rangers will be in town facing the North Bay Battalion. We'll have the after-action report following that one as well as we get ready to go. 2:13 to go, an empty net for the Voodoos. Shields wins the face-off, gets it to McMillan. He was looking for the man, and it was a scramble in front of the slot. But it's cleared by Greater Sudbury. But coming back the other way is Shields. Shields shoots, stopped by Matevier. He's going to jump on it, and the puck was loose. A quick whistle, and now some pushing and shoving after the whistle. And Shields giving it to a couple of players.
And to pick up where you left off before that play jumped in, another way that people can support us is just by hitting the like and subscribe button on YouTube, or by checking out the podcast. You know, even helping us with numbers there is always good if you share it on your social media feed so people can see it. All those things are things that you can help us without necessarily having to spend any hard-earned money.
Absolutely. Play gets back underway. There's a minute 54 to go. Scramble in front of the net. A chance in front, but The slot was very bogged up, and the puck now comes loose at the blue line. Case keeps it in. Puck's still loose. Shields just dumps it behind the net. It's going to be a race for it. Little's going to lose that race to I believe that was Chitteroni. Yes, Mason Chitteroni, and it goes out of play, so the faceoff will come back into the Sudbury zone. But Sudbury saying that it should be, looks like they're almost trying to maybe ask their case for it to be outside the zone, but it'll be off to the left of Matevia.
Yeah, that was one of those where sticks meet and the puck goes flying. And
face-off won by the Voodoos. Now a chance by Lemke, but he fans on it, and a good defensive play by Hudson Martin to get the body on him, not let him get back. 1:30 to go. Again, the Voodoos need 2, but this is going to be an icing call against the Voodoos, so it's going to go back into the Voodoo zone, which is going to force Miles Gordon back into the net and make it back to 5-on-5. So you got to think as the seconds tick away, the likelihood of them tying goes lower and lower, and Greater Sudbury is that much closer to remaining tied with Blind River atop the West. And the Voodoos are going to remain 4 points behind the Timmins Rock. And Timmins will have a game in hand. Now a bad clearing attempt is stolen by Martin. LaCroix back to Martin. Martin, he's got Shanks all alone in front, but Shanks couldn't corral that pass. Nobody was close to him. He would have had all the time in the world in front of Gordon to try to get a goal. Kavanaugh keeps it in. Off of Shanks' stick. Case is right there. And you can kind of feel the momentum for the Voodoos just leaving, as I think they're just ready for this game to be over. It was a hard-fought game, but at the end of the day, Greater Sudbury just showed why they are the team that they are. But here comes Lemke with a burst of speed down the corner. He's got a man in front. There's a shot from Thompson, but it goes wide. 40 seconds to go. Puck behind the Sudbury zone. Gordon out, so now an empty net. 6 guys on the zone again for Powassan. It goes all the way down the Voodoo zone for icing. So with 33 seconds to go, it will be a face-off in the Greater Sudbury zone. But again, Powassan needs a goal pretty much right off the draw.
I think both teams have scored 2 goals within this sort of a time frame already in this game, so it's not impossible by any stretch of the means, but it's not going to be easy. And it looks like Sudbury's calling a timeout this time.
Timeout Powassan.
Yeah, and you got it. When you look at this game, though, there are moments where you can definitely break it down and say both teams could have done better in these areas. But I think if you're the Voodoos, when you think about how good of a team Greater Sudbury is, you got to be relatively happy with the way that you've performed in this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly going to be things that they'll, take notes of and that the coaches will want them to work on. But they looked really good at different points too. So there's, it's one of those, if you can take the good with the bad and build off the good and correct the bad, it's a great step moving forward.
Absolutely. Don't forget to stay with us after the game as well. Our Dave's Automotive's 3 stars of the game. 33.9 to go. 7-5 Greater Sudbury, who are looking to improve to 5-0-1 against the Voodoos this season. The Voodoos' lone win coming in the shootout back in October. Face-off won by Shields. Lemke sends it over to Case. Case with a shot. It goes wide. McMillan right at the point, right at the side of the net, but he couldn't get a clean shot on it. Lemke with it. 25 seconds to go. And now Martin's going to clear it, looking for doesn't quite look for the empty net. Actually sends it into his own bench. So that means that the face-off's going to go back in the Sudbury zone with 20 seconds left to go. The Sudbury bench not entirely happy, I think, here right now with where the face-off's going to be.
No, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there.
The referee's explaining something to Peter Goulet at the Powassan bench.
There was some kind of hand gesture, and I don't know what it meant.
I'm sure that's one of those ones that only coaches know. So the face-off will come inside the zone. It'll be Tucker Shields versus the captain, Oliver Smith, with 20.6 on the clock. Greater Sudbury up 2. Shot from the point, and that one goes, and I think Matevier might have gotten a piece of it as it goes wide. Here's Harris. Harris looking for the empty net. It goes off a stick. The puck in the Voodoo zone with an empty net. 6 seconds left. And as the clock winds down, it will be a 7-5 game. And, of course, there's going to be some extracurricular after the whistle. You could feel that coming. Now Little is going to get into it with, it looks like that is Smith. And they're on top of each other now as the linesmen try to break it up. This game is officially, well, it says there's 0.8 seconds left on the clock, so this game might not actually be over yet.
Not sure what exactly happened there, but Little had a broken stick, and he was going after him.
And Smith gives a little round of applause to the Voodoos bench as he goes by. And that's what happens in these kind of rivalries. So both it looks like Shields getting sent off as well with Little. Case and Lemke, they remain. Lemke leaves the ice.
Now, some of these may not be guys being kicked out, but 0.8 seconds left. So
that could be it as well. So we're not too sure. Good luck to the scorers tonight, trying to figure out exactly what's going on here.
Lucky it's not me in there.
I think if you're a referee, this has got to be the most annoying thing. It's the end of the game. You just want to get out of here.
I mean, I think everyone, like the refs, the scores,
the coaches.
Yeah, you're like, come on, like let's just call it and make it a thing.
Because the other thing, too, is you don't want to – obviously the 0.8 seconds means nothing, but you also don't know what's going to happen when you drop the puck. If there's any more bad blood, that could happen.
Yeah. That's because that's the thing. When there's just seconds like this, there's not actual game. Oh.
And they're going to call it here, which is probably the smart thing there. So the Greater Sudbury Cubs are going to walk away with a victory here, 7-5 the final. And as we wait for the 3 stars to get announced, Ben, what is your takeaway for this game?
My takeaway is that Powassan has the capability to skate with any team in this league, right? They're a talented team. They've made a couple moves recently. The fact that they were so well ahead in terms of play after that first period shows they can skate with anyone. They just have to put their sticks on the ice and move their feet and make it happen. And they just did not do that for the rest of the game.
All right, well, let's take a quick look at our Dave's Automotive 3 stars as they're just about ready to get out.
Tonight's 3 stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
So the 3rd star from the Powassan Voodoos, Chase Thompson, who had 2 points. The 2nd star goes to Mason Chitteroni. And the 1st star going to Samuel Asinaway, who had a pair of goals in that game. So I think pretty fair for the 3 stars in this.
Yeah, no, I can't argue too much. Asinaway and Chitteroni both looked great. They both had 2 goals and assists on other goals as well, so you can't take away from them.
The one thing I'm wondering, though, is if they meant Hudson Chitteroni and not Mason Chitteroni, as Hudson Chitteroni had 2 goals. I don't think Mason Chitteroni got on the scoreboard. He had 2 goals and an assist, so that might have been a...
Oh, yeah, that might have been...
We'll have to see. Either way.
8 Chitteroni.
A Chitteroni did get a start in this game. Yeah. 39-22 the final in shots. And anything else you want to add on to this game that we haven't already said over the last 60 minutes?
Seeing Little at the end there get physical. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's not usually his game.
Yeah.
So that was a bit surprising to see, but you like to see that out of a captain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so don't forget tomorrow we have more frontline action for you as the Kitchener Rangers take on the North Bay Battalion. The first game, hopefully, knock on wood, that we'll see the Battalion, their new acquisitions prior to the trade deadline come in. We'll have to see if the Voodoos do anything going into the trade deadline. Their next game will be on the 11th once the trade deadline closes, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Our next broadcaster on Flow Hockey and on the YouTube Frontline YouTube channel will come all the way at the end of January 26th, when the Espanola Paper Kings come in town. So a little bit of a road trip here for the Voodoos in the month of January. But again, following the Kitchener Battalion game, we will have the after-action report on all of your favorite podcast players or over on northbayecho.ca. So for Ben Long and for Harrison Clements, who's doing the socials down there, you can see all of that on the Frontline socials, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. I'm Ben Sargent saying thank you so much for joining us. It was the Greater Sudbury Cubs coming away with a 7-5 victory in this one. So, once again, thank you for joining us here on your Saturday evening. This has been the Average Joe's Game Day broadcast on Flow Hockey and on the Frontline YouTube channel.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.